What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and it's Fan Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Here for you with all your questions and the topics you're throwing at me. I am definitely under the weather this week, feeling it, but I was so pumped up to make this show regardless. I was like, I gotta make it through. You guys are always way too awesome to miss this. I really enjoy it, especially, Sicko season's always a blast with you guys tuning in, wanting to talk football nonstop. I love that. But during the season, obviously, it gives us much more to talk about. Herschel is ready to talk about something, apparently. He's pumped up, ready to go. But I hope you're all pumped up. Appreciate you taking the time on this beautiful Friday night. A little chilly in the air, but love me some hoodie weather. But appreciate you. This is live. So any questions, any topics that you have, please feel free to get them in. That's what this show is about, all about you. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button, subscribing, all of that stuff. Got a question from the mailbag. We're going to get into that, talk about everything that's been going on. The Eagles 3-0 heading into week 4 here against the NFC East opponent, Washington Commanders. First divisional matchup of the year. And, in the NFC East or any division, it's going to be crazy. So, give me a second here. I'm going to throw this up so you guys can read it, and you can answer along with me here. But give me 1 second. I'll be right back. My apologies there. Herschel getting a little rowdy for Fan Friday, trying to give me that energy I desperately need. But let's pop it off here. The Commanders gave us our first loss last year. What do we need to focus on to make sure they won't give us our first loss this year? So, Liz, appreciate you getting that question in there. And look, we talked about this the other day. Obviously, Jalen Hurts 20-1 in his last 21 regular season games. That loss coming to the Washington Commanders. So, we all remember it and we talk about it. Stupid mistakes, making, stupid turnovers, stupid penalties, making yourself lose the game rather than, the Commanders coming out swinging. I think this team is 10 times better than the Commanders. The Eagles should go out and whoop their ass handily. If you guys saw the roster comparison I put out last night, look, this team is 10 times better than the Commanders. There's no excuse here. And, we talk about it's going to take a little bit of time, right? Be patient with the offense, the defense, and they're already looking great to me, but they're going to be even better. And, yeah, there's mistakes, but that was to be expected. Don't let the media get you twisted up here. I think this team is definitely still a Super Bowl contender, the Super Bowl winner, in my opinion, and building a dynasty here for the future. You see these young pieces, you see the veterans helping them out, ensuring that they will be the future. We talk about that, having patience with some of these young guys. They will get their reps, and Sidney Brown was about to do that last week. He gets hurt. He's out. That sucks. But, Jalen Carter, his reps will go up. Everybody, that's young, you're casually, just kind of, oh, hey, there they are. They're just throwing them in there. But it's like, you have to understand that they're being developed and they're not going to rush these guys in. You don't want to see them hurt. You don't want to see them out there making stupid mistakes. So they're learning and they will get their time. Do not fear here. But the only thing you have to do is play to your standard and play to, these stupid mistakes, stupid things that killed us. Last year, I really think that you got to go in here. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself and shoot myself in the foot, jinx us or anything like that. But I think you got to go out here. They're giving up 6.3 sacks per game. Okay. Go out and whoop their ass, get 6 sacks. Go get, we have been clearly getting pressure, but not getting sacks. That's fine. If you're causing turnovers, getting negative plays. But I am with you, and I know the stat watchers are losing their mind. And, last year it was kind of like this too. And if you remember, it was that Washington game that really got things popping there, and you had like 9 sacks or something. So let's go whoop their ass. And I hope you're all with me on that because I think that this team is 10 times better. But happy Friday to you. And Liz, thank you for getting that question in. A great question. And I think that, this team, obviously they're hungry and, they want to take down the Eagles. They want to do all they can. You heard me in Behind Enemy Lines. They still got a lot of those talented old guys, but the years keep going by and they don't want to add any more talent there in certain areas where, I think that we will attack. Now, I'm going to save a lot of that for the top 10 matchups tomorrow, but you can go check out the roster comparison and hear everything I had to say about, us matching up with them. And I really think that, they have talented young players. They do. And you can't sleep on anyone. But man, if things go our way, we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, we should whoop their ass. And China in the building. Glad you made it. And look, bear with me here. I'm running on fumes here. So, but I was excited to get here tonight. I wanted to talk with you guys. I know that this, game, we're all excited. Let's go 4-0 here. Let's build on this, stay atop the division. So I had to make it in here. I'm not sure it's going to be too long of one today because I'm roughed up. But happy Friday to you guys, and really, really can't thank you enough. Mallory, let's go. And I forget your name, damn it, but I know that you use your wife's account, whatever. My dude, I appreciate you tuning in. 3-0 start. What would you like to see from our Eagles? Look, just more, growing. And we're going to have those growing pains, and that's something we talked about. And look, I'll get you ahead of I'll make you so excited about this Eagles team, you'll think that we should just be beating everyone by 40 points, because that's my excitement for this team, the last couple of seasons, what we've been building here, what Howie's been putting in place. And I still feel that way. It's just we have to have patience, right? And that has always been, the key here. And I'm the most impatient person in the world. So me sitting here telling you that, I don't think you guys understand how much I'm like, okay, we're going to tell them this. Now you got to feel it too. So I'm watching those games. I'm losing my mind too. When you're seeing little things, it's like, oh man, how could you miss this? Why are you doing this? Why are you running this? And it's like, look, I also then sit back and it's like, okay, well, new coordinator and Brian Johnson on the offense, where you'd like to say, he's just going to fit right in. And I think things are going to go well with them, but he and Jalen Hurts got to get on the same page. We've got to see what we've got this year. DeAndre Swift, it's hard not to run the ball when you got a guy like DeAndre Swift running it like he has the last 2 weeks. We should have used him the first week, but is what it is. I think Jalen Hurts will continue to be, playing at an MVP caliber where, you hear the media, you hear these people when we're watching him. If you understand, the people are going to hate. They're just going to pick apart what they can. But it's like watching him in the pocket, getting blitzed as much as he's been the first 3 weeks, the pressure he has faced, the things he's been able to do, the decision making. Sure, those 2 interceptions last week, I did not enjoy that, but the one was a phenomenal play by the defensive back there. So regardless, you don't want to see those, but these are things you clean up. And a lot of the times teams clean that stuff up in the preseason. We didn't have that. We just essentially had our preseason there with, these guys knocking the rust off, trying to get on the same page and going 3-0. Hey, right? You can't be mad about that. So I'm pumped up. I think that, we're just going to continue growing. That's what I want to see. Just build on what, last week we talked about. I want to see this team coming out, and we did. Now, the stats will tell you, and you've seen it from the people that were probably too inebriated or in bed at that time when, at the end of the game, we're just running the ball, running the clock out. DeAndre Swift's not even playing. You know what I mean? Like, dude had 130 yards, and he's not even playing the end of the game. This is what we did last year. And A.J. Brown had 130 yards. Like, both of these guys passing the ball and running the ball, like, we did well. And people are going to be upset and, try to create narratives about the Eagles. But, look, this is the narrative we knew it to be. New coordinators. Now, the defense has been dealing with injuries, but they've been playing pretty damn well. And you guys know the love I have for this style of defense. And you saw the breakdowns I made. Really appreciate you guys checking those out. I saw this. Let's go. Always pumped when I can get over like 10 views. So you guys are awesome. And I tried my best to explain how crazy this defense is going to be. And I think we've just scratched the surface because you're moving pieces now that you didn't want to have to with these injuries. So we're not getting to try all these different things, but you're still, seeing a lot. And the defense is doing well. Now, in the past game, it looks, if you look at the stats, it's different. Now we're number 1 against the run, where we were number 1 against the pass. So the passing, it's going to be a little padded because the teams are playing from behind. They're dinking and dunking. We're bend, don't break. And I know a lot of people hate that, but you don't want to give up those big plays, especially when you've got the lead. So no quick scores. Make them earn it. You hope for mistakes within those plays. You hope for good tackles. You teach, getting the ball out. So all those things just need to come to fruition now, right? All the things you're teaching essentially just had your preseason. So to me, let's go build on that and whoop some ass. But I appreciate you tuning in and glad to see you all in here. Cannot thank you enough. And look, that end of the game, if you remember, they pulled down on Dallas Goedert's face mask. slam him down to the ground. That's where he gets that shoulder injury and goes on IR. I remember it vividly. And they don't call that. They didn't call. And I think the guy got like fined afterwards for it. So it's like, okay. But, you know, they hate us and it is what it is. But no stupid mistakes. And you got to expect the refs are going to be helping them and whatever else. So no excuses, you know, just go out and beat their ass. But, and that kind of stuff, I'm never going to, you know, make clips of that or talk about that. Now, clearly I made that one a couple seasons ago for that playoff hype video. Just, you know, the Phil Sims. The reason Chris Sims has a job, Phil Sims. But no, you know, Joy Taylor, what's his name? Dan Orlovsky, all those people that are trashing Jalen just nonstop. And I made that video talking trash, but it was never to that point. I'm never going to give those people. I saw that one Eagles creator, you know, had him on his show or something. Like, no, dog. I'm good. Those people, they can kick rocks, man. And I hope they get that same energy given back to them. That's really scummy behavior, man. And I'm just going to keep it at that right now. Let's just put it that way. I think those people are trash. We'll just put it that way. But yo, my man, appreciate you. And yeah, I was trying to get back, but there was just way too many comments. But dude, can't thank you enough. I was like, oh, I'll get these in before the show starts. I looked up. I was like, holy. But you're the man, dude. And look, I know we all have different schedules. We have different things going on in life. Whenever you guys can tune in, whether you make it live or not. I always try to do this one live, but it's tough. But I appreciate you guys. And I put out those other ones. I always love hearing from you. That is the point. You know, when I can't do them live, I want you guys to comment so we could still, you know, chop it up there. But I got to be quicker about it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But the season's been crazy. And this week, I'm not going to the game this Sunday. So I will actually be putting out all the content you need tomorrow, practice squad elevations, and then you'll get the top matchups. And then on Sunday, you will get the pregame, all the inactives, everything like that. So I will be there for you, and looking forward to see you pregame, postgame, all that good stuff. It usually is. Now, let's think about it. No, Patriots aren't better than them. Vikings definitely not. And the Buccaneers are pretty talented. But no, this one's definitely the best. And, you know, I told you guys yesterday how I saw like a roster thing, the strengths of their roster, and didn't have their defensive tackles on there. And I thought that to be pretty wild because Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne are no effing joke. And we talked about that in Behind Enemy Lines and those roster comparisons last night. Now, I love what we've got going on. I think we have the best line in the NFL, but these guys are very close. And Chase Young, when healthy, with Montez Sweat, it's a nasty duo there. So they're very good. We have a good offensive line. We have struggled against the pass. We have not with the run. Run it down their throats. Do what you can. I know they're good, but so are we. And you know, we've gone against good lines, so especially against the run. Now, these guys can, you know, stop the run and rush the passer. They're pretty damn talented. But I think that, you know, for me, it doesn't matter. We have to dictate this game. We're the better team, and they do have a good line, but I don't care. Jalen Hurts, man, you know, quick passes, getting the ball out, doing things where we're not getting him hurt because they're going to come after him. And, you know, this team has struggled, but they're very talented, this offensive line. So, come on, Brian Johnson, the play calling, the, you know, who you have helping on what side, what you're doing in pass protection with the running backs, tight ends, whatever you're doing. Just let's clean things up, figure it out. And I'm not on him like people like, oh, it's like, dude, it's been 3 games. Holy shit. Let's just wait and see. But this is a great test, right? So great question there because I think, you know, that was one of the things I mentioned last night. That's definitely one of their top strengths. And I told you it would be one of the top matchups because those guys, they're nasty, all 4. And the reason, if you guys saw that roster comparison, I had the Eagles better is because the depth we have. You know, you could go player for player and make a case for whatever you want, but for me, it's just there's just too much talent here, depth-wise. The Eagles are unmatched in the NFL, and I agree, 4-0, all about it. And the haters are going to hate. It's just nice for me. I don't have to do any more fighting with people. I don't say anything, dude. I don't get into arguments with people. I'm not arguing anymore. All the people that argue with me and hated me for supporting Jalen Hurts, they now get to go do that because I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Like, nope. But it's nice to see now because that was tough. You guys know that was tough for me. I wish some of you would have been around before these times. You could have seen me. Dude, I planted it in. I was like, nah, Jalen Hurts is the future, man, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. And it was all out war after that moment. But look, man, I love to see people aboard. Let's ride, man. And yeah, it's week 4, man. So for me, you know, I think that this past 3 teams were good, but this is definitely the best. But see you guys sharing love between each other. Love to see it. And this is when Dan Cilio, and calling myself out here because I did give someone play one time, and I was actually mad at myself after I made this video, but I just remembered this. When Dan Cilio called Jalen Hurts a thug last year, I was like, that's it. I just snapped, dude, and I just made it live. I didn't make any graphics or anything. I just went live. I made the cover photo. I was like, let's go. And should have made some graphics so I could have probably chilled out and not. But I was pissed. And, he's a racist dickbag. And it really just got under my skin. And I've really been trying my best not to let those people, because the past few years it was unbearable. People retweeting all my work, putting out, proving and showing why Jalen Hurts was going to be great. And this guy doesn't know football. This is what I'm talking about. That Kendall Jenner dude and the, Thomas Petersons and the, Brendan D, all those top guys, they're all retweeting my stuff. Jalen Hurts sucks. He can never. And it's like all this shit. And I couldn't take it, man. I couldn't. And it was driving me insane. Now, watching all those people dick ride them, love every second, dude, because every time I just tell them, look, we'll come back to this. So you're wondering why they got rid of my Twitter. There you go. Because there was some bad stuff out there those guys all had on Jalen Hurts. But don't worry, I still have all the screenshots. But, the haters are going to hate. But what we just have to do is sit here, support him. And look, every game, even when the people, as soon as a bad play happens, it's, trade him, fire Jeremy. It's like, dude, he's not even suited. He's not playing. Like, God help us. But we're going to stand here. We're going to support him. Let the haters hate, because they're going to nonstop. Holy hell. It's sad because he's a great kid. And, he's someone you want your kid to look up to. He's myself. It's like, what am I doing with my life? This little kid, like when I had his trainer on, his chef on, it was just like, this kid's in his 20s and I called him the Terminator, because that's literally what he is. He's unreal, man. So love him. I love him. And you guys know, started that train and I'm going to keep conducting it, baby. I'll keep leading the way. It was nice to see everybody coming aboard. It was a long road, but let's go, baby. We're here. And there's still people ready to jump and you hear it, but who cares? They don't know anything, because again, we saw their analysis, and they were also the same people that said fire Howie Roseman a year ago, fire Nick Sirianni, and then we go to the Super Bowl. Think I'm good on their analysis. We have a new OC, just got to understand. Yeah, man, people just have to understand football. That's a big key to talking football. That's always been my idea. But, hey, these people get jobs that know absolutely nothing, and good for them. Thank God it's not like being a doctor, though, or something, because it's like, thank God they don't have to rely on being good. But patience is key, and you guys know I've been saying that for years. Holy hell, and here we are. Look, we made it to the Super Bowl last year. I called that, and I'm calling a win this year. So mark it down. Miss Cleo's here, man. Exactly. I loved that quote right there. And people can whine what they want. And I love the stats, and I talk about that. But what do I always say, right? Take it with a grain of salt. Like, you have to understand that it's football, man. At the end of the day, however you get it done. And that's what we talk about. You have to understand the context. Okay, this team's the number one in the league doing this. It's like, yeah, well, who did they play? What were the conditions of the game? You really have to break it all down to be able to just sit here and say this number means this. It's not Arkham's razor. Like, it's just, football is new. Like, there's just too many variables here where it's just not the most obvious thing is not the answer here. That's just, I wish it was that easy. You know what I mean? But football's crazy, man. So as long as you're winning, who cares? Now, you don't want to see huge injuries and you're like, oh, we really suck. These are things we knew would happen, right? We're building on these things. That's why there's a lot of hope still here. Yeah, man. And, I'll call them out right now. I'll do that. But I also don't want to give them play. I don't want to, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make money off of them being a piece of trash. Like, you know what I mean? I continue to just try to bring you the content that you deserve, to understand what's going on, to know everything about the Philadelphia Eagles. That is the mission here. And that was the mission since day one, and I look at what I've been able to do. And it's like, there's not one of those media people that holds a candle to what I do. Not the National, the Philadelphia, not anything, anyone. And it's because I come with the truth and the facts. And I just love my birds, man. I don't get twisted up with the bullshit. I guess because I don't watch it. I don't listen to it. There's things I love that I can't even watch. I love video games. I can barely ever play that. I can't see my family. There's so many things that get taken away. You know what I mean? It's like, and I do it all in the hope that one day I'm working for the Eagles, right? And yet these people get paid. These people get the views. You know what I mean? And that's what pisses me off. It's like these people get built off of hate. I came here with a positive message and it got me nothing but hate. And it's like, what the? And I'll be honest with you, a couple of years there, it just turned me. I was just pissed. And it's like, I don't want to be pissed, man. I wanted people to learn that Jalen Hurts was the truth so they could stop, being Cowboys fans. And it is what it is, right? They're going to hate us. I hate that they do that stuff, though. I'm with you on that. I really am. I don't like it. And they hate that they were wrong about him. And look, it was 95% of people, like, don't worry. I was sitting here and there were a few of you with me. And look, I just mean, a lot of you weren't part of this channel. This bad boy's been growing this year. Hell yeah. I wish a lot of you were here, but I was going hard. You guys go back. The best one is I made a video called QB1 it's almost a few years ago by now. And his mom comments on it. And dude, I tried to get her on the show. I was so pumped up. And it was cool to know that his mom knew that there was someone in the Eagles fan base that was actually supporting him. And this was before anyone else made their little hats or T-shirts or anything else, man. I was actually supporting him. I wasn't saying trade him for Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. You never heard that once. I actually was adamant about not doing that. So, look, they were very wrong. And they're going to have to chew on it for a while. But I told him, man, look, I understand you think, listening to ESP or these people is good for, your knowledge, but they've been consistently wrong. I mean, just compare work. That's all I ever ask. I don't, and I don't want to toot my horn. It's just like, I don't understand why I don't. Okay. All right. And it's funny, man. And look, what's hilarious to me, the stats, I am a nut with numbers. I've just always been great with math. I don't know what it is, but I think it's really helped me with football. I've always been obsessed with knowing everything about football, and numbers were just always a part of that. So I've been like this my whole life. Now, I obviously put that in with the cap, things like that. So I know you guys love that. But I used to be the master of fantasy football, all that stuff. Like, I would tell you this stuff before this was ever a thing. Like, we're talking like 15, 20 years ago. And clearly there were things like this, but not at the huge level we have it. And, I just was obsessed with stuff like this. And I would do the math myself, like all of these things. And you don't have the insane stats you see now, but like I was doing weirdo stuff with the Excel spreadsheets, things like that. And it's like now, and I always understood though, that you still took that with a grain of salt, but that was just an extra boost to understanding things and using it as a tool to guide me, whether fantasy football. I didn't have a show to talk about sports. It was mostly fantasy football, but even before fantasy football as a kid, you guys that know me out there, I was like this anyway, weirdo, just writing stats down, always obsessed with football. And that was obviously after I was done playing it. But when I played it, you guys know I live and breathed it, man. That's just football. And stats are a nice little piece of it, but that's about like 10, 20% for me. You know what I mean? You got to understand the nuances of everything else. And that's, it's kind of funny because it's kind of ruined it. And I agree. I was just having this conversation with Chelsea. I was like, it's weird because now everybody's into it. Now it's like, this is it. This is how it has to go because of this. And it's like, that's not how football works. That's just not. But hey, it is what it is. Lil, my man in here, let's effing go. And it's very wrong, Joseph, and very disgusting. And those people are trash. And yeah, I'm always going to, tell them they're scumbags. And Dan Cilio got lit up. If you guys were a part of this, Liz, I think you were here last year for that. Ooh, it's pissing me off right now just thinking about it. I don't like him. And one of you guys was saying something about a boxing match with him. I was like, look, set it up. We'll do it for charity. I'd love to. So he had him on his show and he was defending him. And yo, man, that's gross. And I wasn't even going to give it the click. One of my buddies retweeted it and said something about like, I think it's gross that this dude's bringing him on his show. And I was just like, nah, nope, don't care what you have to say, man. Like, I saw what you said. I heard what you said, and you got called out and thought it was hilarious that Jalen Hurts said that. Like, he sees that. And I told you guys that a few years ago when, like, he's not saying anything, but he's watching and listening. And when all the people were trashing him nonstop, dude, it was definitely something he used. And I had his trainer on a few years ago, you guys remember. And the best story he told was when they're training, and he's like, the TV, there were ESPN was on, and they were saying like, oh, the Eagles got to trade for Deshaun Watson, this, that. And Gabe went to turn off the TV, the trainer, and I guess Hurts was like, keep it on. He was like, oh, okay. So he just sat there working out, listening to them talk shit about him. And it was like, oh, that's the kind of guy I like leading my team. And, I was very excited about him. And to see how far he's come, it's crazy to me. Even the Lone Ranger out here who was trying to tell people he was going to be great, I still can't believe how great he's been and how great he's going to become is something I can't wait to see. So F that guy. A great kid. You've never seen work ethic like that. I think it's a lot of jealousy. We talk about the hate of people projecting, things they've got going on. That's a lot of what football is. And, people don't like to hear that. They don't like that I treat players like human beings. That's fine. I don't care. I will always be like this. And, to see them the way they talk, say things like that, it's like, okay, man. But it's disgusting. That's what gets clicks. That's what the media likes, what fans want to, and it's gross, but it is what it is. But F those people. I'll continue being the truth. And see, I get called the bad guy because I stand up to those people. But I stand up. Like, I'm not like, I'm going to pray for you. I'm like, dude, you're a douchebag. And then they're like, we so mean. And it's like, well, dude, if you're not ready for that kind of energy, maybe don't be putting out that kind of energy, because I match it, man. And I actually go, further. So, it is what it is, but it's China. How insane. We've got two beasts of defensive lines. The only difference is they don't have the offensive line we do. So, woo! But yeah, definitely. We talked about that last night. I think that we're better, and it's not to take away from them. I just think that we're just that effing good, right? No way I should be the same room with Christy. Oh, man, I'd give him some sweet chin music. I can hear the music playing now. Dun, dun, dun. I think I'm cute. And smack, sweet chin music right to the face. I see, you're getting me. I didn't. Whoa, you guys, you see how easy it is to get me riled up here. But how about it? And look, right, this is Jonathan Gannon's defense on crack, and you're going to see similarities, but it's going to be better. And what's crazy is like there's young pieces that haven't really even gotten. So just imagine when Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and Sidney Brown are a big part of this defense. It's going to be even crazier. And we talk about the versatility of it, the multiple schemes. You're going to see even more. And we talked about those injuries kind of hindering that, but I'm telling you, it's coming. And we talk about the differences, we're getting that pressure still, but we're stopping the run. That was the key this offseason. We're going to be good against the run. That doesn't always allow you to get those sacks and do things. You're playing a certain way to stop that run, not always pressuring a certain way. So I'm loving it right now, and I think it's only going to get better here, and we're going to hope for health, right? We're going to hope that Sidney Brown's only out this one game. He'll be back, and it'll be he and Reed Blankenship starting eventually. What did I say in the offseason? Maybe week 4 or 5? Clearly, he's not starting in week 4. He's out. So probably not starting in week 5 because he's been injured, but give it time, right? Let's be patient here. The dude's going to be the future with Reed Blankenship. I'm telling you, I told you the media would be repeating. I think it was like Baldy or somebody. I was like, telling you, get excited there. And, you look at the youth we have. We've got good veterans here, but the youth is why I feel there's a dynasty being built. And the offense, defense, both of them, I still think will be top 3 at the end of the year. So loving that defense. Yo, Tiffany, appreciate you tuning in. Let's have it go, Birds. My man Drew in here. Let's go. And yes, very hard to take your emotions out of it. As you can tell, I'm always very emotional, and the Eagles are family to me. You guys are family to me. People don't understand that insanity, that passion, that love we have, but that's fine that they don't understand it. You have to be in it to get it, to feel it, palpable, as Sean Desai would say. So I can feel it. I feel you. And look, I just think that, it's always something that I'm going to love and be passionate about. What I try to do is not get pissed anymore about it because, oh my God, I'm always able to be pissed. We all are. They give us enough in this world to be pissed about. And the media, the way they talk about the Eagles and the fans of other teams and even some of our own, it gets brutal, right? So we just got to, that's what I want this to be though. The positive force where people can go and be like, no, these people don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go to Jimmy Smith, who actually knows what he's talking about, gets things right, and we're going to be happy about it. And if we're pissed, we're pissed. And if we're whatever's going on, we tied, okay, we're just kind of feeling, it's happened. Don't worry about it. We're going to ride and bleed green until the end. So that's just what this is about. And those people can hate. And Drew, look at Drew, okay? Right now it is 3:17 a.m. in the morning, I do believe, for him. So that's dedication. They don't understand what that is. And Drew, my man, I effing love you, dude. And cannot thank you enough for always tuning in at these wild ass times. And I love it, man. I love your passion. I love the friendship. And dude, you're a brother to me now. And I don't think you understand it. There's days where I'll reach out to you just to check on you. And the days you do it for me, it's like, you guys in the chat as well. I know you guys don't have my phone number and stuff, but you're reaching out, asking out. I don't think you know how much that means. It really does. And I try not to be a whiny little bitch about the stuff I go through, but it's my battle. You know what I mean? But I know you guys are there with me, and I truly appreciate that. But I try not to bore you and stuff. But when things are happening, I do have to warn you. You're like, why isn't this God bringing the energy? What's going on? I need you to understand that I'm always digging deep. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, but sometimes there's literally just fumes, and I'm putting through. So love the old German flag there. Love it. Guten Tag. That is thank you to you for throwing that up there. I only know a few phrases there, but love it. Joseph, showing some love to you as well. Drew, my man, can't thank you enough for tuning in here. I am, again, running on fumes here, but yeah, our D-line is better. And I talked about that. Carter's an upgrade over Hargrave. Don't care what they say. Jordan Davis is going to be better. He is. And we talked about adding Nolan Smith to that rotation. We still have Brandon Graham. We've got Derek Barnett back from injury, so it's loaded. I think it's better. And, yeah, Milton Williams, Fletcher Cobb, I'm all about it, man. All about it. I think we are much better. But definitely a moron. Can't stand him at all. Hate him. Yeah, and I try to tell, like, I know that I don't, and, I used to say that, like, I don't matter to them, right? And I'm not affecting. Now, as a fan, I do believe when you're there, you want to be cheering for them, not rooting against them. I do feel that you can have a positive impact on them. Now, is it changing the game necessarily? I don't know. I know exactly what it does for them, but I'm still going to do my part. But outside, dude, I'm going to war last few years with people. I'm like, what is this? Why am I like, I can't let people control me. And, you guys have been very helpful in helping me see that light where it's like, I got great fans like you guys that need to talk football, not talk about. And when you guys want to talk about this stuff, then we talk about, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to lead the way on that. And that's what Fan Friday is for. So get it all out. Let them know, man. And I break it down the rest of the way, and I just think that, look, I'm always going to fight for them. They're family to me, and I'm going to work for them, right? And don't ever think you're not like that. It's not about the players. It's not even about the owner or the GM or anyone. It's about that logo. And for, I've seen different owners, all that different stuff my whole life. They're not the same. The only thing that's the same, and the logo is not even the same. It's that green blood going through my veins. That is what is the same. And people just don't understand it, and that's fine. It is. But it's not something to be understood. It's something to be felt. And you guys make me feel awesome. I love this. And you're family to me. But let the haters hate, right? Let them. And I'm trying to fly through these here, and that is correct. The only stat that matters is winning. And me too. This whole defense, offense, this whole team, I'm ready to rock and roll. And I appreciate that, Joseph. I'm glad you guys enjoy. And I try to have this show, so you guys can shoot the shit, but also, those other shows so that you get lots of content, and hopefully I can talk as quick as I can and get you through that stuff, right? And but I appreciate you. I hope hopefully you get all you need for the week to be ready. And I don't either, man. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched any kind of shows, and I used to when I was younger, but the reason I started this is so I could just have my own and not waste my time doing that, right? But and we're happy you made it, man. Love it. Dedication, dude. Let's go. All about it, Tiffany. 35-14. Love it. She's got 3 score win there. I'm all about that one. Same juice of the media such trash. Yep, and they are. And Look, they're always going to be that way. That's why I always said I'm going to be the change, right? And I'm all about that score. And yeah, saw your score earlier, Joseph. Love it as well. Well, that one's 19 points. So that's technically still 3-score. You'd still have to, get 2 touchdowns with 2-point conversions and a field goal to get 19 points, right? All right. Anyways, you guys are awesome though. And yeah, and that's the truth. Sorry, I'm really trying to get through these quick, guys. I'm sorry. I told you my brain is not even like functioning. I'm excited, but bear with me. And that's it. You need the context, man, and that's what I try to do in these shows, right? I try to break it all down, everything, and I bring the stats because I know you guys love that stuff. But it's like, and not saying like you love it, but I want you to have everything, right? And last year was more in depth, and maybe as we get more stats and that stuff matters, I'll get more intense with it, like, rushing yards per attempt, things like that, like how the team actually is doing in the red zone stuff where, I mean, you guys want to get crazy, we'll get crazy, but I was doing so much that the last few years, and it's like people weren't even watching them. I'm like, they just want to shoot the shit more than they were. So you guys let me know what you like. I'll keep trying to put that stuff out, but anything when you're watching those shows, you feel like, hey, I wish I knew this too, let me know. I'll add it to the show. I'm always trying to make this better for you guys. Eagles contact Chris Sims on the show. I don't think it was Chris Sims. It was the dude that works for Barstool or whatever. I have no idea who he is, but yeah, he was trying to make some money off of it, and that's not a real Eagles fan. Anyone doing that, and I don't know who the little weirdo is, but all good. To each their own. So weather going to be like on Sunday for the game? I actually just looked at this earlier, and I believe it's supposed to be sunny, maybe a little cloudy there. I think the 78 degrees was the high, I think. But yeah, a nice day, no sloppiness. So no excuses, right? Let's go out there and whoop some ass. And yeah, I don't know why you would have that person on your show. That's like really weird. They just said that about your quarterback and you want to like have a jerk off session with them. I'm good on that, man. That's weird. No thanks. As a kid, I would try to draw up football plays. Oh yeah, man. Obsessed. I used to have one of those things. I know what the hell were they called? You plug them in, they were like magnetic and just and like shake your johns, right? And move them all around. I'd sit there with that thing off, dude, and I'd just like, they're action figures, and dude, I'd take X-Men and I'd take my G.I. Joes, my Turtles, whatever else I was playing with at the time. And dude, they'd all be playing football. There'd be games where people are getting stabbed and stuff. I mean, I'm just as crazy as I am now as I've always been. But I was always obsessed with like Marvel, DC stuff and football, the Eagles. Since childhood, anybody who knows, how obsessed I am. But that's why we're such good friends, Drew. I think we're, of the same yolk. And I'm always going to love my birds. I've told you guys the stories of, I've met people in some of the craziest moments of my life. I've been locked up before and met this dude who's part of the group. I won't call him out, but he's like, what are you doing? And it was the NFL draft. And I'm sitting there just writing down everyone's like height, weight, like their stats, like their combine stats on this piece of paper. And he's like, what are you doing? And this is before any of this stuff. This is obviously before I stopped drinking or started the show, anything. And I'm like, I'm just obsessed with this stuff. I always do this stuff. I like to break stuff down and be able to tell everyone what's going on. Like when I tell you guys, I've always been this way. I really have. And this dude's like, what the f? So we started talking, Eagles fan. Of course, we hit it off. And then when I started this, he's been supportive since day one. So big shout out to you, my dude. But I always love that story because it's like my obsession never stops no matter where I'm at, dude. I'm always going to be this way. And we all know I've had my lows in life, and that's what started this, right? And I always reach out to you guys and tell you, look, you ever have anything going on? I mean it, man. I've been to hell and back. So let's go. Reach out, man. Don't be afraid. I really think that, this world tells you can't change, you can't do this. That's bullshit, man. And look, the only thing that's not going to change is my insanity, my passion for the Eagles, my love. And I've had a lot of things happen in between that try to mess that up. But we're right back here, right? And we're talking birds. No matter what craziness in my life, the birds are always part of it. I mean, you guys know my story. On my deathbed, I'm yelling at these people, I need my jersey on. And they're like, how? Got all these damn things plugged into me. So I'm putting this damn thing on my walk thing. You guys saw the live video. For those of you that have followed me from the get, man. Crazy times how far we've come. So love you. And I am. And as a young man, we all know I was. And Jimmy F. Smith was a wild young man. I'm not going to lie to you. But as an old man, I'm about that action when it comes to my birds. And I'll always keep that. And it's always funny. Like, these people, like the internet world is so weird to me. People get so right. It's like, all right, man, back in my day, this was a quick fix. And it's just funny. It's a different world. And I try to you guys have helped me become so much more. And my poor family, they do everything they can to be as positive as they can. And I just really, these last couple of years with people, it's being so negative, I feel like it just made me feel pissed off all the time. And it's like, all of you guys, I can't thank you enough. You guys just been so supportive of what I'm trying to build here. And it's just, I need to be more about that action of getting out Eagles content and being happy with you guys. That's where my mind's at, right? But but dude, love it. Drew, I actually found the CD cover that I'm on, so I sent the picture of it to him. And what I didn't do yet, man, is I found it the one day, and it was like at a weird time. And here's how sad this is. This is before you moved to Germany, because I remember it was like late night. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to send it late. Then I never sent it to you. But I found a remix of it. So, of course, it doesn't. You and I will discuss that part. But, dude, you know it. And yeah, I don't follow. I can't. I won't let them piss me off, right? Cloudy 66. Now, when I said 78, I think that was the high. So it's probably going to be much colder in the start of the day, but hopefully that sun will come out. Keep your asses warm. I'll be here at home, nice and warm, breaking shit down for you beforehand and after. So excited about that. Don't have to drive all day. That was something with my health right now I was not exactly looking forward to, but plans change, things happen, and it's perfectly fine that I can't go. Ready to rock and roll here. I can tell fair weather, Jalen. Yeah, man, for sure. And look, it's so sad. And it's like, why would you wish on any person's downfall? Like, I'm all about helping anyone, everyone. I actually hate how much I care about people, because no, I don't. But like the past few years, it's just like, man, you care way too much about people you've never even met in your life. Like, you just put so much energy. It's like you need to care about yourself for a second. But it's like, people just hate, man. I don't know what it is. People coming after my channel all the time, my Twitter. It's really weird, man. And it's like, and they hate me because I try to tell them about Jalen Hurts, Howie Roseman, how the cap works, how football works, defense. I just teach them literally these things that they demand I'm stupid because of. And it's like, if one thing you've ever noticed is I've never come after these people. They all come for me. And the weirdest shit is then they're always wrong. And then they just disappear and then I watch them grow and people are like, these guys are so smart. And I'm like, no, that's that idiot. It's weird for me, but hey, to each their own. I know a lot of people love that fake news stuff, but I'm good on that. So let the haters hate. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. And yes, I'm with you on that. No thanks. Don't want any sloppiness, any injuries, any stupid fumbles, any crap like that. And that is a fact, my man. It is. And I definitely, even in my years, it's like I catch myself all the time. And it's like, what, even somebody getting mad at me, I try to be like, okay, maybe they're going through something, maybe take a step back. Remember when you used to drink all the time, you used to be pissed off all the time. Like, just try to put things into perspective. Maybe their dad's really sick. Maybe they just lost a best friend. Like, all these things I've definitely had happen where have turned me, into an unhappy person. And it's like, I got to remember that maybe I could be that person that helped, just like people have helped me, So I try. And look, I definitely slip up. And this disease I use definitely as an excuse because I get pissed off sometimes. And it's like, no, man, just eat healthier. Stop feeling like shit. And I'm trying to get on my own ass, but try to be a good person. I'm far from perfect, though. And look, that's what this show is about, though. Being together and figuring life out and enjoying our birds while we do it, right? And you do. That was probably when I gave you the sweet chin music. That's how bad I am. And look, hey, I used to be in a band, and I've been talking lately. I'm like, I don't know if my health could take it. But I'm like, here's one thing we should. You know what I was thinking? What I should do. And now somebody's going to take this idea. But my guitar. I think it's time, I learn how to play some country or something like that and just start making funny songs each week about the opponent. I think that would be, there's so many names and, things you can work within that I think you can do it. But look, I just, I don't want to torture you guys. So And yeah, I've always been, man. That is literally something that's always been that way. And here's the greatest part. When I was a senior, they had broadcasting class. Like you could choose like wood shop class, all these other things. Like in senior year, you actually got to decide. And everybody's like, oh, you're going to hate the teacher. He's this old Navy vet. Oh, he's hard ass. This dude was the coolest teacher I've ever had, Mr. Santor. Big shout out to him. I think he passed away, which sucks. But this guy, yeah, he was a hard ass, but he wanted these people to be perfect. And he was old school, man. And he was, from the Navy and all this stuff. And look, he was cool as shit. He taught me a lot about what I'm doing right now, man. And I try to remember a lot of that stuff, which is insane. But they used to put me on the announcements in the morning. And Drew, this is how the world comes full circle. So we always have like this Oktoberfest thing going on in Mifflinburg, a big thing. And the one day, like we always had to rehearse before we went on at 8:45 for the announcements. And like you had like the absentee list given to you at 8:30. So all these things, you're looking at names, you're trying to get all this stuff down as the person that goes on. This kid, Nick Creekbaum, big shout out to him. He's a Dolphins fan, I think, so probably not watching, but metalhead as well. This dude, he used to like pull the cards and stuff. We didn't have like the screens and stuff. So I'm reading off a card. Okay. Just keep that in mind. But these dudes, him and this other kid, are hysterically laughing when we get to the part where I have to say Wiener Schnitzel, which I said to you the other day. And I'm like, dude, like you can't do that like when I'm live, right? Because this teacher will like he's very serious, dude. And I was thinking about in honor of him making a page for like when shit like today happens, and I didn't. I can't believe it. I could have used it, but it says please hold or something like we'll be right back. Sorry, whatever for the technical difficulties, dude. So just be aware there's this thing. I literally get to that part and say Wiener Schnitzel. I get through it. This little mother, he does not, and he just starts geeking out. I'm like, oh God. So I inevitably start geeking out. But as soon as I'm breaking finally and about to laugh, the teacher's already seen him, runs over, hits the button, and it goes to the page, sorry for technical difficulties. And this dude just flips on him. What he doesn't realize is I just lost it too. And I'm laughing, but this kid, he loses it. Actually ends up getting kicked out of the class, having to go to woodshop. Hilarious, dude. It was because the kid put it on himself. He's like, yeah, you, man, I don't care. Like, he didn't give a shit. He was holding the damn cards. Like, who wants to do that? You know what I mean? But anyways, it just, you made me think of that, man. And like, just the days I'd go in, people be like, oh, looking a little tender this morning. I'd go in ripped. I'd just be destroying it because I was just good at it, dude. And I didn't care. The best part was I had a hold of the absentee list. So I'd go into school like 8:30, be like, oh, I was down there at the library. And he'd be like, oh, cool. Pushing it sometimes. But that's it, man. That's what brought me all the way back. I don't know why I had to be an ass bag and just throw that away. Hate that for young me, but hey, my life led to where it is now, and we're going to make it work now. But appreciate you, dude. But you guys, I really got to get going. I said about it not being a long one, and you guys have consistently always shown up, and I love you for it. And they really are, man. It's an NFC East matchup, so I think it's going to be a tough battle. But I'm going to get through these as quick as I possibly can. Week 6 is when he is eligible, Liz. So not next week, but hopefully the week after that, he will be ready to rock. Love it, David. All about it. How would you got to deal with Swift now or wait? Well, you still want to see a little bit more consistency. Maybe even wait it out because he's a running back. You see if he stays healthy. You don't have to. And right now, it's not like you'd be saving a lot of cap space, anything like that by doing it. So no rush on it. But if he's looking great, you want to lock him up, show him that he's loved here, you could. And I wouldn't be against it. Michael, appreciate that, my man. Can't stand Chris. Yeah, how about it? And only reason he played, only reason he's an analyst is because of my mistake I said earlier, Phil Simms. And I remember him as a damn kid. Old New York Giants. So didn't like him. Don't like his son. I definitely don't like his son. And he just sucks. And he doesn't. He definitely doesn't. And if you've ever watched him try to listen to John Gruden and repeat a play, it's laughable because if you're an NFL quarterback, you should be able to do those kind of things. And there's a reason that he failed and that he hates Jalen Hurts. He's jealous, and it's hilarious. Yeah, definitely. And we talked about that all off season, man. Give credit. Hey, and I appreciate that, man. All I'm trying to do though is be here with you guys and enjoy it. Maybe you guys know something more about something else. Maybe you want to give me information there. That's what this is about. It's never been a pissing contest. And I always, for years, for some reason, had just had people coming in that wanted to do that. I finally found you diehards, and by my own doing, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it's your fault. It's just I'm trying to get out there. And, I wanted people just to enjoy football, love their Eagles. We can be pissed when it's time to be pissed. We can be upset when things are wrong, but it's like, why be pissed all the time? Why is it every week we got to trade everyone? This guy sucks. Everybody sucks. Fire this guy. It's like, maybe we just understand it a little better. We can be patient. Like I talked about last year, everyone was saying fire Howie and Nick, trade Jalen Hurts. And I'm saying we're going to the Super Bowl this year. Everybody's like, dude, you're dumb as hell. You don't know anything about football. Then we go to the Super Bowl and it's like, well, I mean, so this year I predicted, right, the Super Bowl, but I also predicted a dynasty. I predicted this is the first year we win. We build on the dynasty. And let's do that. So all about it. And my man, David, I cannot thank you enough for that super chat. Been appreciating your comments in the chat as of late. And I love you guys. I tell you that all the time. I know we all have different schedules, things going on. I do these when I can. But comment whenever you can. I really hate that I miss a lot of you guys. And I'm always down to talk birds with you. So comment away. I'm always here, but thank you so much for that super chat, my man. You don't know how much that means. Your support is greatly, greatly appreciated here, man. How did I right? Younger? Well, yeah, and that's right. We talked about that this offseason, having that balance of veteran players to be here for those young players and pretty much essentially groom them to be, that starter. And it's going to happen right in front of our eyes while these vets are still here. And we talked about Cox is going to go into that Brandon Graham role, and we're going to love it, dude. He's playing a lot this first half because these young guys are getting moved up and just wait. And, yeah, and he sure is sipping on that scissor. He's a jackass. Just going to be real with you. And that's exactly right there, Drew. Keep his name out of your fucking mouth because, can't stand it. How it changes ways? Nah, not so much. He just, made a couple of mistakes. And if you look, a lot of other teams made a lot of mistakes and a lot more than we have, but he's been phenomenal since he's been back, and especially the last 3 years. So I'm all about it. And Danke, it sure is. And look, Danke schön is thank you very much. I do remember that one, but love it. Love it. Let's get as much as German. I don't know why I always remember this one. Dunkelblau. Obviously, Dunkel, dark, Blau, blue. I don't know, man. Guess when I was a kid, we thought it was funny. I actually remember us getting in trouble, so that's probably why I remember. But we would just scream Dunkelblau, like just other random shit. But one kid got in school suspension because he would just scream it all the time, and he did it one time, like right to the teacher's face. That was awesome. But anyways, I'm gonna stop drifting off here. But D-line is much better, indeed. I agree. And look, we're going to be back there this year. We're going to win. We just got to stay healthy. That's putting the good vibes out there. Good juju. Let's go. How about it, dude? Holy shit. Making me feel like Old Man River. And those are the kind of guys I grew up with. So you wonder why I'm animated nut job. Like, you can thank him. So I think that I miss a lot of things, and I brought back that feeling of when I was a kid. Like my father wanted me to be like these guys or not, like Chris Collinsworth or, and it was, he loved that I knew every single football player on every single team and every single stat he needed to know, everything. That's why I love doing it. I wanted my family, their love for the Eagles. I wanted to show them I loved them just as much. And well, that grew into just being passionately, insanely in love with them at a very young age. And it just turned into, well, it's an addiction. Let's be real. Maybe unsafe. That's all right. But I love them. Really appreciate. Hey, and I really appreciate that. Honestly, like I don't think you guys know how much it means that because I do everything I can, and with the limited time, it's like, oh man, I don't know if this is good enough, or I'm trying, and I know the camera sucks, and I didn't, of course, had to smash my ankle, so I couldn't do the room, and I've still got most of it halfway done, and it sucks. It's like I need somebody to help me with this stuff, but it is what it is. I'll get there. I'm thinking the bye week is hopefully when I can finally get some crap done. But that's what I always come back to is the content. Are you going to be able to watch this and be like, holy shit, I just learned a lot? That to me, that's what matters. So love that. And I cannot thank you enough for that. And how about it? Miss those guys. Truly. We were blessed to have some great dudes watching while we were growing up. different zone blitz packages, all the same. Well, I don't think we need to blitz more. That was a lot of the talk last couple of years. We're getting a lot of pressure, lots, and that's why we're doing really well. And I think you just got to continue doing what you're doing. I know Seth Joyner's going to say you got to blitz every play, but that is not how this defense works. You create pressure with the guys you're sending. And honestly, you could look at it, these guys like as a blitz, we've got a lot of different fronts where it's like those, again, you got to take everything with context. Like, is it really a blitz? Is this, because some of these things you could consider a blitz that they're doing. So I don't, but you're going to see blitzes. You're going to see things, but I don't think you need to do more. I think this defense is doing well. They're going to figure things out, and they're only going to get better. I think the issues really are the injuries have been key to the guys we're missing. James Bradbury, Reed Blankenship, now Avonte Maddox out for the season. So these things really hinder what you're trying to do, and I'm perfectly fine with what we're doing. Just continue building on it. And they're my favorite as well. Every time, even on a day where I feel like complete shit, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try and make this like 15, 20 minutes. I don't want to rough myself up too much. I'm looking, and it's like, oh, we're going on an hour here. Let's go. You guys got me going. And I am running on fumes here. My neck hurts, and just want to lay down like a little baby when I'm not on here. But it's crazy what you guys can, that energy, what it does. I was telling my girlfriend, it's like, if you're ever cold or anything, just go make a live video. Like, I feel like I just ran a marathon when I'm done with these things. You guys get me so worked up, like, seriously. But, dude, Mutant League Football is one of my favorite games ever. My man, Random Anton. Let's have to go. You want to know how old I am. Bro, my favorite was, there was a couple. The one with, like, the landmines, that was cool as crap. But the spaceship one, that was always neat to me. I don't know why that looked so cool, but bro, loved Mutant League Football. I saw they like remade that. Thought about like buying it, but it's like I don't even play the damn games I have. Right? And love it. That thing was so weird, but loved it. Play with pennies, offense and defense. We have a penny front on defense. Same day. I think that all these breakdowns we have. Yep, I'm trying to break it all down. I'm sorry. I'm trying to scroll through these guys. Holy crap. Having a dude on the show. Listen to this. Dude, don't like it. Don't like it at all. I hated that. Sorry that I'm so far behind here, guys. Son of a bitch. I suck at this. And I appreciate that, man. I don't know where that just went. And I that's what I try to do, right? Give my own niche here where it's like I'm trying to give all the content that is truly needed to understand stuff, but also to have a good time while doing it and show you, look, I'm just as insane. I don't know anyone else that lives and breathes. When people are like, oh, you're just a homer. It's like, no, dude, I literally break down everything. Like, I don't see it anywhere else out there. So, but I appreciate that. I really do. You guys are all way too kind. Seriously. The No Fun League back at it again. And yep, that's no good for me. And I don't follow like any. When I did my intro for this, or like the thing you write, I almost put your favorite content creator's favorite content creator. Like those people, they all started and got their ideas and who to follow and what to do from this guy. And it's funny because it's like they do shit like that. It's like they show me who they are. They're not diehard fans. Have you not seen any of that cat stuff? Go to the playlist. Show me the money, man. You will have a good time learning everything you would ever need to know. And, go check out like the things like before the draft where I tell you how much cap space. Like I know that kind of stuff before anybody else because they just don't do the work. But hey, that's fine. That's my thing. So go check that stuff out, man. I have its own playlist. Show me the money. So you guys can see the latest cap stuff, all that stuff. You guys, anything you ever need broken down. So, but I'm glad you like that music idea. Sorry, I am so slow at this. Good thought process. Ignorance before malice. Yeah, no doubt. And exactly, I do. And I'm human. I make my mistakes, but I really do try to remember that kind of stuff, man, because I've been to hell and back. So, look, let's go. I was saying something to Gabe because, he's with Lane Johnson every day. I'm like, dude, I'm a metal singer. So whenever you want to get things started, like, I can rap, I can sing, I can do it all, man. And I'm not saying I'm a rapper or something. I'm not one of those guys, trust me. But I am someone that knows I can do a lot of things. I would love to be on that album. So we're going to make it work. Don't worry. Mifflinburg, where they do Christmas market. Thought about, yeah, dude. Holy shit. It really is. It's called Chris Kindle Market. So Random Anton knows exactly what I'm talking about. Small effing world, man. let's do this. If you're going, let me know. Would love to meet up with you there, man. That is where my family eventually moved to, and that's where I grew up a lot of the time. When I tell you guys, a completely outside world from the city. Dude, please come see what I'm telling you. Please come see exactly what I'm talking about. That's awesome that you know what I'm talking about. But yes, Chris Kindelmar, it's actually really cool. A lot of really cool stuff. You'll get a lot of Wiener Schnitzel there. But if you drink, there's like all kinds of like stuff they make on tap. Like it's really, really neat stuff, man. Stuff for the kids. I remember when I was a kid, I was in like the you have to, the middle schoolers are in the church special thing. Like it's a huge thing there, man. Definitely come check it out. It's worth it, man. So I'm gonna have to get into that. It sounds like I'm glad you guys like it, but I love you guys all. Seriously, much love to you all. Cannot thank you enough for tuning in here. And I'm going to try my best. I'm going to spend some time with the family here this weekend, and I'm going to pump out content for you guys. So the next couple of days, I'm home. So let's go, baby. Tomorrow, I might do the top matchups live. So expect the practice squad elevation stuff to be put out there. But I'm going to try to talk to you guys the night before. I'm going to start doing the top matchups live with you guys, talking about it live, getting excited about it, hearing your thoughts. And then Sunday, we'll have the live pregame. So actually get to see you, get pumped up. I like that, man. I don't mind recording the videos, but I like being live and talking with you guys. And I'm definitely going to do that to the best of my ability. Just too slow to keep up with you guys. I think we're all right at safety. I'm pumped for Sidney to get his due. I don't want anyone getting in the way of that. And he's on IR for the next few weeks. So let's get Sidney Brown healthy. Let's get these young guys going. We'll stay patient and it will happen. And we are. And I wasn't saying, we're not blitzing. I'm just saying, we do blitz. It's just you don't need more any less. I think this defense is right on pace with what it needs to do. You just got to stay healthy. I would love that. But, thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that, man. And you guys, you don't know how much it means that you guys just tune in, hit that like button, subscribing, all those little things that take you a second, take the soul just to a special place. That's what I'll say. I really think that you guys I don't think you know how much you mean to me. And I don't mind spending that time. You know what I mean? It's like my family is so understanding and like so helpful with the stuff. Like, when I got to get home, I fly home, I do something. I got to go pick somebody up. But like I'm creating a graphic while I'm waiting in the parking lot. Like I'm in the hospital getting blood taken while I'm creating graphic. Like you don't get to see, maybe one day I'll do a behind the scenes where you can just see some of the anarchy of creating these things for you. And this is all with a Chromebook. And this phone is like 5 years old, dude. I need the upgrades, but I try to believe in myself where if I can do this much with this, just imagine when they give me all those PFF and the stats and the things that people love and the things I don't have to spend hours on looking up myself and doing things where, dude, and the cap stuff, I know you guys know that's my bread and butter. That's and I love that you guys love that stuff. And it's a pleasure to me to be able to be the only person out here explaining it. I love it, man. And I'll jump on that any day. And anytime you guys ever have questions about that, as I always say, feel free to reach out. I want you guys to understand that stuff. Try to make it, and no cap Jimmy, cap knowledge has, no cap Jimmy, cap knowledge has no cap. Wow. Dude, I remember when Jimmy No Cap, that was awesome. Whenever you guys said that, I forget. Maybe it was you, Drew. But look, I just think that that's something that was too funny to me. Like I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff and always loved knowing that stuff. And watching the media never understand it has always been like, why don't you guys just learn how that stuff works? And I know it's accounting, but it's not that hard. But if they don't want to, then I'm going to happily do it, right? And like for you guys, I always just show you the easy stuff, right? I mean, simplify it. Nobody wants to sit here and do effing math. Why would you want to do that, right? You just want to see it. So I show you just in case you want to know how I get that stuff. Try to, with the rookies, when I showed you, hey, it doesn't even matter. Pick one. This is cost this much. So we didn't even know the players, but we knew the money. Now, obviously, we moved from 10 to 9, so it changed. I showed you right away how much that changes. I try to stay on top of that stuff, and I'm glad you guys enjoy that. I do my draft, breakdowns 5 years in a row of predicting who we draft. I hope you guys love all that stuff. So doing my best. But Blue Wine at the Christmas market, yo, bro, I guarantee you they do. And they have all kinds of stuff, and it's actually been a couple years since I've been there. So probably even more. They're always adding stuff. There's a really popular brewery there called Rusty Rail, and they got all kinds of stuff. It's so funny. My one friend's dad used to work there. Yorktown was what it used to be. They turned this factory into this great. It's really nice. I've been to a wedding there, been to a couple like parties there, but obviously I don't drink anymore, so it's not like somewhere I frequent. But dude, come check it out. Lots of cool stuff that you can definitely do. And there is Lewisburg right next to that town, which is always what I tell people. Like, I live closer to Lewisburg now than I do Mifflinburg, but Mifflinburg is like straight country, dude. Lewisburg, you've got Bucknell. You've got a lot of stuff going on there. It's two different worlds there. It's so funny, man. But definitely keep me in the loop. We'll talk. And that's coming up, dude. So I hope to see you there. And if you are going, let me know, man. I will definitely try to make it because me and the family would definitely be trying to do that this year. So we would be happy to come and meet some of you guys. You guys are family here, man. So I'm all about it. But Philly Mike one time, yo, man, I had Philly Mike. I've had Lord Brunson. I've had all those guys. But I've had Derek Gunn on here. I've had, Jeff Mosher, Mike K, all those guys on. But the favorites of mine, go check out also, there's another playlist, my man. If you've got free time, I've got some interviews on there. One is with a guy named Gabe Rangel. And there's one recent one, but the one from a few years ago, go check that one out where we talk about Jalen Hurts. And then I have his chef on after that. Those are some of my favorites, man. And I try to bring on guests from all over, man. Now, with the way things have been with the computer, I haven't been able to do that. So bear with me. There will be guests again. I actually just was talking to somebody about coming on. So doing my best here. But, if you ever rewatch any of those videos, man, feel free to comment, whether it's the cap, the interviews. Love to hear how you're feeling about them. You have questions, whatever, man. But no, I think I am the fool here. But don't worry. I knew what you were saying. Jimmy No Cap, baby. Let's go. Lewistown. Nice. I used to be in a band with a dude from Lewistown. That was that metal band I was talking about. Donnie Lynch, I think was his last. Yeah, Donnie Lynch. Donnie Lynch. Not sure if you are familiar with Donnie, but this would have been, by this point, almost 20 years ago. Holy hell, I'm an old man. But Donnie was a shredder, dude. I have not met anyone that came close to him still to this day on the guitar. So pretty cool dude. But guys, I got to get rolling here. I love you. You will keep me going all night, and that is what I love about you. But if you want to continue these conversations, you can always comment down below. I'll be back tomorrow with the practice squad elevations. That won't be live, but it will be live for those top matchups. I hope to see you then. Until then, I hope you have a great night. But I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have a great Friday night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!